Hey y'all, this is Marley K. Hope y'all are well. Got an important update for you about Ladauto C 2.0. I originally saw this last night on Dr. O's channel, his YouTube channel, and today Prophecy Again TV on YouTube also talked about it. So you can't play the actual recording because we're heavily censored, but I'm going to read you something from the America online magazine, and it is a Jesuit review. So getting it straight from the horse's mouth. Those of you who are awakened and you know what time it is, cool beans. If not, hold on to your bloomers. You'll have to go back and read some of the old, look at some of the old videos, but also check out some different channels talking about this particular topic. I will include a link to Dr. O's recording from last night. It is, August the 22nd. So I will put a link to Prophecy Again TV's uh, video from today and Dr. O's video from last night. But it's really important. And the reason that I'm a little triggered by it is because I don't know if you remember, like last year, the end of July, sometime in August, maybe it was June, July, the Pope basically called in on money. He was like, he want all the money back in Rome. And at the time, I was telling Watchman Nehemiah, I was like, yo, did you see where the Pope was like, bring back in all the money? And it had to be in by the end of September, which I thought was really weird. But, you know, there was no rhyme or reason for it. So I figure it must be an economic collapse coming. But they got to do it, call in their money and not take any L's far enough in advance so that whenever the shoe drops, it won't be like, oh, we had our money. And you know how like during COVID, when these congressional representatives were investing in the lollipops and body bags and all kinds of nonsense because they anticipated so many of us would be passing away or getting stuff. And so they would get a bump from the stock market and make money off of our suffering. Well, the Vati is wise like a serpent. And so they know what time it is. And they, in my opinion, know that people are or would be watching a lot more closely, but they also anticipate people have short-term memories, which I do not when it comes to global events, world stuff. I'm just into that type of stuff, so I just pay attention and I often don't forget, especially if I know and I honed in on it. So when I saw that, I was like, wait a minute, something ain't right. The Pope calling in all the money. Whoa, baby, we in trouble. Because they are wealthy. If people don't understand how much wealth that city possesses. But anyway, the fact that now that he is writing Ladauto C 2.0 says to me that they have everything in place. It's probably already written and they are just getting ready to release it. But it's probably getting ready to come at a time uh, after some bad things happen. So I'm going to read to you this article. I'll put a link to it in the comment section. But do your own research. If you have not read the first Ladauto C, you should read it. It was written back in 2015, and we're close to the 10-year mark. So it would kick off the next phase of what's to come. And if you know anything about how these people move, they're very methodical. Numbers mean something, dates mean something. It's always codes, colors, signs, clues. You have to be paying attention to. They don't always speak directly, but they still speak. And you know, I think this is significant. The timing of it is significant. So let's read this and see what these people are talking about, because this is going to be a problem. So it says, thanking a group of European lawyers for their attention to environmental protection laws, climate change. Mhm. Yeah. See? Okay. Pope Francis said he was preparing another document on the subject. I am writing a second part to Ladauto Si to update it on current problems, the Pope told the lawyers on August the 21st during a meeting in the library of the Apostolic, uh, yeah, Apostolic Palace. He provided no further information. Of course, he didn't. Laudato Si on Care for Our Common Home was the title of Pope Francis's 2015 encyclical letter on the need for an integral ecology that respects the dignity and value of the human person, helps the poor, and safeguards the planet. The Pope made this remark in context of thanking the lawyers for their willingness to work for the development of a normative framework aimed at protecting the environment. So this is where you see church and state come together, because if they are developing frameworks, it has to be for the law so that it can be passed in these nations locally, statewide, and then nationally. It looks like what looks like and appears to be a disfragmented play is actually very strategic, very methodical and orderly, and also is coming together perfectly while most people don't see it. So in the news, you're talking about they keep talking about the weather, the weather. It's so hot, it's so hot, it's so hot, and they don't feel like it's no hotter than no other time. Um, we have seasons and cycles where things are worse than in other times, and that's no different than it's been all throughout the Bible. There are always been times of famine and always been times of feast. So this psychological warfare that's being waged on us through the media and your cell phone, um, all these different things. Like I was telling you, when I got this new phone, I kept getting notices about how hot it was, and it's the hottest here, it's the hottest there. I was like, what is going on with this phone? I never had a phone tell me about how hot it was in Las Vegas and Arizona and on what's going on the West Coast. I don't care. I'm not there. I mean, I care, but I'm on the East Coast. What you telling me about what's going on in other places for? I'm not bothered by that. So it really began to annoy me, but it also let me know that it was a form of propaganda, and that all forms of evil communications are in on the thing. So I went in and I disabled that thing so it wouldn't just keep bombarding me with foolery and anything that would just give me updates constantly about whatever they want to tell me about the climate. I was like, man, I'm not listening to this stuff. So there's an agenda. And here, where you see him thanking lawyers, why would you need attorneys to address stuff that's going on all over the globe? Like, who are you? Why do you get to control the entire world's environmental issues? Why can't nations do that on their own? Like, what's happening? So if you really start to think about it using your good, healthy brain and your common sense, you see something is not right. Something is afoot. So anyway, I'm writing a second part of Laudato Si to update it on current problems. The Pope told the lawyers August 21st during a meeting in the library of the Apostolic palace. It must never be forgotten, he said, that future generations are entitled to receive from our hands a beautiful and habitable world, that this entails grave responsibility towards the natural world that we have received from the benevolent hands of God. So basically, I'm God too. I'm God here on earth, and I'm going to make sure that everybody's entitled to work from their hands. I'll just leave it at that. And I just don't. Um, mm. Word salad, double sweet. Nothingness. That's what I just read to you. I'm gonna read it again though, so just so you can see how it don't mean nothing. It must never be forgotten, he said, that future generations are entitled to receive from our hands a beautiful and habitable world, and this entails grave responsibilities toward the natural world that we have received from the benevolent hands of God. So, you're gonna punish us basically for what rich people do, basically. Anywho, members of the group Pope Francis met with presidents of European bars and legal associations who signed a declaration in 2022 calling on members of the European Union and Council of Europe to uphold and respect the rule of law, especially in times of crisis like that created by Russia's war on Ukraine. These times of social and economic crisis, as well as crisis of identity and security, challenge the democracies of the West to provide an effective response while remaining faithful to their principles. What are their principles? We don't know because they don't tell you. Particularly the promotion of democracy and respect for freedom and human dignity, he said, says the man who kills people and supported slavery and all the other things. Not him in particular, but the body or the organization that he represents. So it's very hypocritical that they talk about democracy and freedom and human dignity when they've slaughtered so many people and taken away the freedom of so many people. The blood has reached the heavens. Still doing it to this day. So it's just very interesting, the lack of the cognitive dissonance and the lack of willingness to accept responsibility for their role in the lack of democracy, freedom, and human dignity for non-white people. But okay. Fear of civil unrest and acts of violence. That's what they're worried about next. They know what's coming, which is why they're getting ready to do this new thing. The prospect of destabilizing change, that's coming next. This is the good part. Remember, I tell you all the good stuff is always at the end of an article. This is the good stuff. This is what you need to pay attention to. This right here. Fear of civil unrest and acts of violence. They're basically telling you this is what's coming next. The prospect of destabilizing change coming next. And the need to act effectively in confronting emergency situations, that mean emergency situations getting ready to come about, can result in the temptation to make exceptions or to restrict, at least provisionally, the rule of law in the effort to find easy and immediate solutions, the Pope said. For this reason, he told them, I appreciate your insistence in one of your proposals that the rule of law should no longer be subject to the slightest exceptions, including in times of crisis. So that means no nation will ever be able to opt out of anything that they propose moving forward. So Here we getting ready to come into this oneness that I can't talk about, because if I do, I will be censored. You will have to go to the Rumble channel to get the video when I upload it. I have it ready. I just haven't had a chance to upload it. But anyway, I can't say the words. So I'm going to really have to develop a new vocabulary to talk about certain things. It's really getting challenging right now to talk about stuff that we need to talk about. But I need to say these things to you because soon something is going to happen. And I anticipate by September we will start seeing a quick devolving of societies globally, because they got to have the chaos so they can usher in their new orders. Okay. Uh, for the rule of law stands at the service of the human person and aims to protect the dignity of each, which admits of no exception, or whatever that means. They be saying so much. They use many words to say nothing. The Pope cautioned, however, that laws promoting the dignity of the human person must be based on truth. That is so funny. About human beings. Are y'all going to tell the truth about us? Are they going to tell the truth about true Israel? Probably not. Their divine origin. Oh, they're not going to talk about how we are made in his image. They're not going to do that. And their ultimate destination. We know where we're going. Do they know where they're going? Without the constant effort to pursue the truth about the human person in accordance with God's plan, which God they talking about? You always got to ask that. Who is their God? Because I don't know who their God is. Well, I do know who their God is. But we don't worship the same thing. And that's what we always have to remember. Everybody who worships or says they worship God don't worship the same God. And that's why you can't follow people. You got to test their spirits, test their words, look at the fruit they produce, and then score them accordingly. Individuals become the measure of themselves and their actions, more nothingness. Today, in effect, we are witnessing a tendency to claim more and more individual rights without taking into account the fact that every human being is a part of a social context in which his or her rights and duties are bound up with those of others and with the common good of society itself. There it is. Common good, common, one, common, everybody, one thing. This is what it is. So they basically told you what time it is. You getting ready to get some bad stuff coming your way, and then you ain't gonna have no rights because everybody deserves the same thing. You shouldn't have more rights than another person. You shouldn't have any rights that we can't control. And I'm going back to my office and write some more stuff and send it out to my kings of the earth so they can do what I told them to do. Say la. So, that's what we got going on here. I wanted to share that with you because things are getting ready to change, y'all. You could think this man playing if you want to, but he ain't playing with us. He's handling us rough. And things are going to get a lot rougher when this thing is officially released. So I wanted to give you a heads up. This beast infrastructure is steadily forming. It's moving fast. And again, if you think you're going to be waiting around till 2025 and 2027 and 2026, man, and you ain't planning, you ain't prepping, you ain't, just trying to keep those laws, statutes, and commandments, repenting daily for your sins of commission and omission, trying to wake your brethren up, praying for the awakening, praying for your brothers and sisters scattered all over the earth. You are going to be in a world of hurt when you finally wake up one day and you see what's happening. This is just the beginning. You think all those fires, even if Yah is allowing them to happen, We don't know what disaster is coming our way. We don't know what disaster is coming to our country. We don't know what emergency, man-made or otherwise, is coming to our neck of the woods. I read you Revelations 18 about what's going to happen to Babylon. If you are not preparing, if you don't have a go bag, if you're not ready to flee, if you need to flee, if you're sitting around here waiting for the rapture, honey, you're going to be in trouble. If you are thinking that God, you one of those people who say, I ain't worried about nothing, God gonna take care of me, and you didn't do nothing to prepare when the Most High has given you watchmen all over. Everybody's talking about dreams and visions and people interpreting real-time truth, present truth every single day. Anytime something happens, people are keeping watch everywhere. Lay people are just watching everywhere. And you're just saying, oh well, God got me. I ain't gonna worry about nothing. I don't know what to say. You probably should unsubscribe to this channel and go to where the feel good messages. Go find Joyce Myers or TD Jakes, Paula White, Joel Osteen. Uh, what's the one who took Eddie Long place? Find him. Find some of them people, because I don't have time to deal with people who cannot deal with present truth and are unable, unwilling, or incapable of tying it to biblical prophecy. Not now. You are a threat to those of us who are awakened. I don't want those type of people following me, because life is precious. A lot of people are going to be hurt because they will not wake up. Things are getting ready to really start moving fast. And I've been saying it, I keep saying it. I know you're like, oh, nothing ain't happened yet. But stuff is happening every day. And so I can't, I'm saying it's happening fast. In my mind, it's like lightning fast. But I can't convey that to people who, the Most High has put different discernments in us and different gifts in us. And so when I say fast, I mean like really fast. Things are changing. And if you're not preparing, if you're not, close to your bug out places and you don't have your plans in order, finalize those things, because next month is going to be a problem. And everybody's seeing the writing on the wall about the lockdowns coming back. I've told y'all, get your stuff, get your holistic stuff. Don't ask me about one thing to get. I gave y'all some resources on my Rumble channel. Get your holistic stuff. Get your mask. I already told you, don't let nobody punk you about wearing no mask. They want you to inhale the cootie so you can die. Because everybody that is sick and ill or leaves suddenly and don't get an opportunity to repent for sins, guess where you're going? So these people have an agenda. You need to have your own agenda. If you don't have a plan, they have a plan for you. If you're not preparing, they're prepared for you. If you're not preparing to live, they are preparing for you to perish. So you have to have your own plans. That is all I have to say about the subject. Please keep praying for the awakening. Pray that our brothers and sisters are protected, those who are scattered, those who are trying to make it in, those who are straddling the fence. Pray that they come on over to the right side and take that narrow path. Come out of her, my people. Get out of Babylon. Give Babylon her stuff back. You don't need nothing she got. All she got is gods that we shouldn't be worshiping, in ways we're not supposed to follow, in darkness when we are light. So let our light shine. Let us be the salt. Let us be set apart, live set apart, so that when the hour comes when we have nothing and we literally are sitting in the dark, when we are literally not allowed to go to your place of worship. People love to go to church and they think church is everything. They don't know how to have church in their houses alone. They don't know how to worship by themselves. They don't know how to pray by themselves. They can't find the word if the preacher don't give it to them in the Bible and tell them what scriptures to read. They don't read the word on their own. Their Bible is not open if they don't go to church. Use this time to learn how to pray and live set apart, live holy, and learn how to have church by yourself with the Most High and His Son, Yahusha, because the hour is coming where they're going to be monitoring everything that we do. And if you are not prepared or you sleeping with the enemy, meaning if you got enemies in your house, people who are not awakened, y'all have not developed a plan or just made peace with, you're not going to be able to do certain things. Once this new system comes in, you're going to have problems and you're going to have no peace. Even in a time of turmoil, you can still have peace. So plan for peace in the midst of chaos, because you will need that. And while we do have not much going on personally, and I'm just speaking for myself, I have a quiet, like this is my quiet time. I get to think and interpret the things that I see so that I can share with y'all and do my own little preparations. For me, that's peaceful. But I know the time is coming where folks going to be knocking on the door, asking for stuff and needing help and not knowing what to do. That's going to stress me out because I'm going to be angry. I'm just telling you, I'm a work in progress. I'm going to be angry because I did what I was supposed to do. And I know people have access to more information than they've ever had in the history of mankind, and yet they are dumber than a glass. So I'm going to be upset. And I'm going to have discernment because I'm going to have to be selective about who I help and how I help them. But I'm prepared and I'm preparing. I can't ever say I'm prepared. You're not prepared for war till you get into the war. I'm not prepared for this, what's coming, until I actually get into it. But I've been preparing my spirit and I've been preparing my mind to deal with the fact that things are going to get terrible all over the place for a lot of people. And I'm going to be in the midst of it. And I'm going to be looking. And at that point, you're not going to be able to come tell people about what you see and what's going on because you'll be in it. You will have to keep yourself safe. So you're going to have to be quiet. You're going to have to go up into your house and you're going to have to shut up. You're going to have to mind your business and tend to your stuff to try to keep it so that people won't do harm to you. A lot of things that are coming about. Even when you're outside working in your garden, you're going to have some protection because folks going to be trying to roll up on you and take your stuff. So it's just, you need to really be thinking about what's coming. These folks done told us civil unrest, acts of violence, destabilizing change, and emergency situations are coming. If you don't take nothing else from this news, take that and take it seriously because these folks ain't playing. That's all I got. Please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel if you like this type of content. I try not to waste your time with stuff that does not matter, stuff that is not going to educate or enlighten you. So if you like to be enlightened, follow me. There will be things that I'm not able to talk about on YouTube anymore because Google is in charge of global censoring. So with that said, please subscribe to my Rumble channel and my Odyssey channels because I post content on Rumble and Odyssey automatically backs up my content that I upload to YouTube. So in the event that this channel is taken down, you will also be able to access my old stuff on Odyssey. unless they make it disappear too. Lastly, I'm on social media for the time being. I do not post there regularly. I only post there in the event that I have an issue with my primary platform, which right now is YouTube. I am considering doing some writing about the gardening and emergency preparedness piece, but I don't know. I just have to be led by the spirit on that one. I'm a little exhausted right now trying to navigate Mr. Charlie Nim's interwebs, but it is what it is. With that said, again, keep prepping, keep praying, keep seeking the Most High, follow those laws, statutes, and commandments, keep the Sabbath, not Sunday, Sabbath. Continue to pray for the awakening. Pray for sins of commission and sins of omission daily. If you have not given your life to the Most High, or if you've been living wild and foul, and you've been out in the streets, come on back because time is running out. Every day that you live and breathe and nothing happens is a chance for you to continue preparing, to continue to live right, to continue to come out of her, and to continue to make peace with we're all going to have to make difficult choices in the coming future very soon. And so make peace with that now so that when the choice arrives, you know what you're going to do and it won't be so difficult. And understand everybody got to make the choice for themselves. You ain't no family choice. I know men folk, you might be married to a Jezebel. And women of the Most High, y'all might be married to Ahab or a Saul or somebody evil, a Nebuchadnezzar. Um, you may be unequally yoked, whether you are a man or a woman, a Gentile or Yasharel. You're going to have to make a decision for yourself. And there's just no way about it, or around it, I'm sorry. So start making peace with that because you got to give an account for your own life. Everybody ain't trying to go the same place. You can't walk with everybody sometimes, even people in your own household, your family in the Bible, in the end, they're going to be your enemy. They will be your biggest obstacle and your biggest enemy. So make peace with everybody ain't going in the same direction. Everybody don't believe the same thing. And there's some people don't believe doo-doo stinks until they actually get on their foot, under their nose. Don't be that person. I'm telling you that doo-doo stinks. I don't want you to experience the doo-doo under your nose or on your shoe. So keep prepping, y'all. Love y'all, love y'all, love y'all. Be safe, be vigilant, be careful, and be wise as a serpent. All right, this is Marla K, and I'm out.